Hobgoblin swings his flail, and Coltaine just manages to parry. Zook is slashed into for another 5 damage, dropping him to 6 hit points. Wreckage is up.
Alright, I do that marking thing. So, Wreckage marks his adjacent enemies. And he performs an Earth Shield strike against the hobgoblin below him, to the south of him. That is between Coltaine and Autumn. Wreckage rolls for a total of 19.
And his axe is met with a shield. Winter.
Alright, Winter is going to disregard the incoming hobgoblin and continue to attack his quarry with a twin strike. Winter rolls for a total of a 25 on the first attack and a 22 on his second attack, hitting for 9 and 7 damage respectively. And his hunter's quarry damage is a 2.
Winter nails the hobgoblin with another 2 arrows for a total of 18 damage. The hobgoblin is bloodied. Wreckage parries a flail. The Warchief stabs his spear into Coltaine for another 10 damage. He shouts, "You fight like a kobold!" Coltaine is down to 15 and bloodied.
I am rubber, you are glue.
As Coltaine is speaking his retort, the hobgoblin to his northwest slashes into him for 7 damage, dropping him to 8 hit points. Zook is up, 6 hit points, no longer dazed.
I'm going to shift away from them. I'm going to use my darting bite ability. The first attack going on the hobgoblin to the north, and the second one to the east. It's a 20 versus reflex on the first attack, and the second attack is 14 versus reflex, and I deal 4 damage.
Zook leaps up and tears out the first hobgoblin's throat. The second manages to block.
I'll shift 2 squares away. And I will also get out of my wild shape, which makes me do another shift. I will spend an action point.
Oh, you get bonus hit points because you're now in sight of Coltaine, your inglorious leader.
Inglorious.
How much hit points did I get? Fearless leader.
You gain 5 bonus hit points from me.
And I will use a flame seed on the hobgoblin.
That is to the northwest of Coltaine.
Fumble.
As Zook starts, I don't know, casting his spell, his mouth still hurts from biting on that sword, and he bites his tongue and messes it up, and it explodes in his face. Zook is dazed. Coltaine is up, 8 hit points.
Coltaine begins by sighing.
Oh, hold on a second. The hit points that Zook gains, was that temporary or healing?
No, that's proper healing. That ally regains lost hit points equal to 1/2 your level plus your charisma modifier, which is 5. As long as he can see me. So it's healing, yes. May I continue?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Okay, but as a man of action, he must do more than sigh. So he yells out, "Come on, Zook! You can do it! Hold on!" And sends an inspiring word his way.
Unfortunately, Zook is 6 squares away.
Apparently, I can't count. Oh, Jesus. He looks so close, though. Coltaine realizes... Can he say that he messed up and he actually meant Autumn instead of Zook?
Sure.
He's pretty bad with names.
He's looking at Autumn. Come on, Zook!
It could be really hard to mess this up. I mean, one's super short and male, the other one's super tall and female. I can understand how that happens.
Coltaine stares at Autumn and says, "Come on, Zook, you can do it! I mean, Autumn."
They both have a tendency to get into sticky situations.
Unknown to the rest of the party, Coltaine actually was drinking out of those barrels of beer before.
So that should bring Autumn back up to max, right? Plus the 9 temporary.
Anyhow, Coltaine then uses the dwarven chainmail's magic ability to regain hit points as per healing surge without spending one as a free action. And then he uses his second wind, going into total defense.
Coltaine's back up to 24 hit points. Looking good.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
If you're
One,
dazed.
you're... Well, for
Oh,
one
dazed
thing, you're
out.
not in your animal form, so you don't yeah, even if you weren't dazed, you're not in your wild shape, so... You're not holding a
totally
weapon.
punch him in the rib.
No, it's not an issue that you can't attack somehow. It's just that you're not proficient enough with any attack you have to be considered threatening any squares.
What's that supposed to mean? I could totally roll a 20.
They consider you completely incompetent.
If you're gonna roll a 20, don't save it for that.
Zook rolls a 20 on his unarmed attack, dealing 1 damage.
One of the hobgoblins slashes into Zook for 5 damage, dropping him back to 6 hit points, and the other slashes him down to 1 hit point. The hobgoblin that snuck up from behind charges at Wintier and bashes him for 7 damage, marking and slowing him. Wintier's down to 2 out of 9 temporary hit points. That ends round 3. Round 4, Autumn.
Autumn will try once more to kill this bloodied hobgoblin. Ooh, critical hit. So that's 10 damage from the piercing strike, plus another 13 from sneak attack.
For a combined 23 damage, Autumn stabs one of her guitars through his back, into his heart, the other through the back of his skull, pulls them both out, and he collapses in a gory mess.
I still have a move action, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't suppose I can move over tables.
I think it's difficult terrain, and I can look up the rules specifically, but they don't just count as regular squares.
So it would be like moving 2 squares over 1 square type of thing?
Hold
Don't
on a
look it up,
second.
never
It
mind.
costs.
No.
It costs.
Does that make sense? Question mark.
Yeah. Wreckage.
The radius of 3 or whatever, would that include Coltaine if I were to do it? Close burst 3?
Coltaine is within a close burst 3 of wreckage.
But I am not an enemy, so if it's an attack that targets enemies in close burst 3, I am fine.
No, it's is supposed to put cover in close burst 3, so that you and I are, a little safer, Nick.
Oh. But if they're in the cover 2, I guess it depends on what.
It says you and your allies have cover. Well,
Oh, alright then. Alright then.
So Wreckage, in his finite wisdom, remembers that he can provide some cover to Coltaine and performs Nature's Abundance, as well as Nature's Wrath to renew his marks, in which case would be 1 hobgoblin.
Wreckage calls upon nature's abundance, and through the stone walls, floor, and ceiling of this dungeon burst the roots of plants that move into the way to provide cover for Wreckage and his allies.